I regret nothing though. Whoosh.
That's so fucking loud.
What the fuck is happening?
Holy shit! I was so confused.
Yo, can we get sent off, man? I'm trying to go, man.
Walk outside here right now.
Safer.
Okay.
I'm imagining an appointment.
I bet.
So
I'm imagining.
I gotta go soon.
Unrestrained from his legs, or
Yeah, go on, Jean. Tell him.
I'm
Bussy.
imagining going to the casino with the squad and
Hey, Ripley.
gambling.
Something with strain. I don't have met on me.
Yeah, too bad we burnt all of our fucking supplies on not that. Hey, Ripley.
yes, sir.
Hey, Jubilee's gotta like be somewhere. Can you guys, try to get her processed?
Who does?
Jolie.
Who does?
Jolie,
her?
she's gotta
Okay.
be somewhere soon, yeah.
Her right there. All right.
No problem. Yeah,
Give me
we
one
can do
sec.
that for you.
Appreciate it.
Merci. Thank you.
You gotta get going. Not a problem.
Yeah,
We'll
I've
try to
got
get
about
you going.
10 minutes.
Which one?
Don't want to hold anyone any longer than we have to. We'll try to keep things moving for you guys.
Five.
All right, they're
Thanks,
almost
Ripley.
Listen,
they're almost sorted
hey,
with the
Ripley, Ripley,
charges.
I'm reading a book
They'll be here in like 2 minutes.
What?
You were doing what?
I'm reading a book, no
You
cap.
doing
man.
Lang?
And it's something about
Brian,
de-escalation.
Brian.
Read that book before? It's
God,
about
I
it's
hate
free.
you.
Sounds boring. I hate books.
Equally.
Yeah, but listen, I
Really?
promised I would turn it in 2 days, which is about
Where the
a
fuck
week
you been
past
anyways?
The date I was supposed to turn it in.
What's
It'll
that?
be there.
Where the fuck have you been,
Pick it up.
anyways?
But that's
Raiding every gang in the city.
No, I'll pay the fine.
And okay, Brian.
BSK, Vagos, Grove Street.
Cents a day, man.
Jeez.
Um, yeah.
Out here getting that work done, huh?
It's $1.50.
Actually,
man.
while
I
you're
have
here,
money.
you own the Rooster's Rest, right?
Oh, nice. Okay.
I own what? Sorry.
All right.
You own the Rooster's Rest?
Sounds like a plan.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The inn as well?
Tell me what you think.
Yes,
Tell me
sir.
what you think.
Wait, is this it right here?
So I
no.
need your permission to put
Masses.
up cameras inside.
No, sir.
Let me take this.
What is that?
Also, there's another book. It's for this
Because,
guy.
no
It's
disrespect to
called
you, Brian,
How
but
to
until the
Lie
officers
Without
show
Looking Like a
me
Fucking
that they
Idiot.
actually care about the civilians who get harassed,
Shoot it.
they won't be stepping foot in my restaurant, Brian.
Wait, it's still loaded.
I got
Whoa!
raided, or my restaurant got
How's it
raided. I
loaded?
don't even know if you know about this, but Chatterbox?
Wait, how many ammo you got? How's it loaded?
Yes, I hate that guy.
I think it is loaded.
Would you deem him
Yeah, it is.
psychotic,
Don't shoot it.
insane?
Don't
You
shoot,
know,
don't shoot, don't shoot, actually, don't shoot.
would you deem him that?
Don't shoot. It's not supposed to be like that. Don't shoot it.
I don't know him that
Loaded,
well.
but
I
pick it
just
up.
know every time I see him, I just start cursing because it pisses him off.
It is loaded.
Are you aware that he's been to Parsons more time than anybody in the city, to the point where Plum actually removed him from the program and saying
I
that
see
he
it.
couldn't
I
be
see it's
helped?
loaded.
He has a lost cause?
No. Yeah, I don't
Are
really.
you
know
aware that
Chatterbox.
this man stepped foot in the court house for some charges to defend himself? And in this court case, he testified something about me in an RPG, and I shot him in the face in the middle of the restaurant in front of a whole bunch of people, some crazy shit. And then they
Okay.
took that testimony and used it to raid my restaurant.
That's more the problem of the judge, though, right? Like, what judge signed on it?
It wasn't the judge involved in the court case. They took that testimony like as a separate thing and then used it to raid me.
Damn, that somebody's trying
So,
to stack.
okay. Look, I don't know about the scenario.
That shit's gonna look stacked out.
But I think some of your so I'm a strong believer that our warrants should be
because if we win the
contested.
bench trial, it would get at least
So,
like more than half. They would get rid of that.
Think if a warrant is to be given, there should be a legal mechanism for you
Okay,
to
so I have nothing
fight
to do with the
said
murder,
warrant.
upstairs?
Oh my God.
So if the warrant was bad to begin with, then everything that follows it
Not guilty.
should not stick. You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean,
However,
I don't
you
disagree,
can't
right?
You
do
guys
that.
pushed it.
The problem is that I don't think you should, you know, I understand. Let's say, for example, it was a bad warrant, because I've heard it before. Trust me. OTT tells me 3 times a day.
The particulars, it's at the very
But the
foundation.
thing
Little
is that
pistol I
it is our job to
little
take
BB
our
gun I
probable
mean?
cause,
The BB gun?
put it in a warrant, and then see if it holds the weight according to the judge.
Stop right
I mean,
there, stop
so if
right
a
there,
judge
stop right there.
signs it,
These days,
Don't
then
forget about accomplice
it's hit the
and
litmus
person who
test,
did it at
right?
the same time and fine. Fuck off.
Yeah, the thing
Give
is,
them
like,
a
I
shot.
can argue, but a moron.
Doesn't matter.
that
Yeah,
makes
you're
sense,
not
but
wrong.
I
There's
feel
no
like
fucking
when a
difference.
man is
I
like
don't care.
deemed like psychotic and has a history of harassing, kidnapping, and blowing up the restaurant like
Yeah, it's all
constantly, I'm
Reggie
sure
Mike.
there's multiple reports on it.
Because I'm busy today.
I don't know how then you take that testimony as
Wait,
you know,
what?
holy testimony, and use it to get a raid
But
warrant,
I
right?
only helped
With no other evidence.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I
see
mean,
the
I
other
get what you're
story.
saying. I mean, listen, we live in a crazy city. I
I was
mean,
dead
as
before the.
as John Paul,
felons-
he's gonna go to
felons
Mexico.
have their,
At least
you
a
know.
little bit of
Almost
leniency with
immediately.
I mean, listen,
Shot
you've
to-
killed cops,
shot to
but
boot
I
to
wouldn't
the head.
expect
Then
your
he can
voice to be
represent me.
muted.
Gunshot
Right.
right to the dome.
If you
I mean, I
witness
killed
something.
no, trust me, I can get like
Fair.
if maybe you
No.
saw me like with an RPG or some crazy shit, sure, right? Like if you took this
Hey,
situation
we're
just
seeing
now,
over there,
I'm
Mark.
sure,
Trying
but
to be
He
190
can
and-
represent
just
both
this
sides.
random
Fucking
thing out of the
fans.
blue that this guy
I-
testified. Like you
I
should go read
agree
his
with you.
testimony.
I
was
will.
passed
So
out,
I'll
so
say
I couldn't
this.
have been
I
accomplice.
agree that
He
any
can-
witness
he can
testimony
represent me
that
as well as
is
himself.
not, let's say, a law enforcement officer, alone should not
I
be
know that.
enough to grant a warrant. I imagine there's more to it because I don't imagine a judge would have just listened to someone.
Oh,
speak.
there's
Hey, Marty,
definitely
they're
not more to
telling
it.
me
I read
190,
the
like,
the whole what was it called? The foyer,
Yeah.
whatever it's called. I read the whole thing. It
Huh.
was literally just that testimony that got my
So you're
restaurant
saying
raided.
that one person who's not a cop said he saw something and a raid warrant was signed for it?
Yeah.
Jesus,
My
let's
restaurant
focus.
got raided over that. I was
Who's
sleeping.
the
I was
judge?
wasn't
Because I'm
even
gonna
in the
have him
city.
start signing all my warrants and make my job easy.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, right? I don't even remember. I think it was like a. It wasn't Katya. It was.
That's you can
can't
become
remember.
a deserter. You dumb
But
fuck.
that's literally what happened. And ever since then, I just don't want the cops in there because if they're not gonna
Steal
choose
stuff?
to help when we want help, why would I assist them in any fashion? When I've tried
Oh, is
desperately
this
before.
the reason why cops are banned from roosters?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
We could argue that.
Yeah, the ban will never lift until I see the officers actually care about the civilians within that restaurant.
That literally killed a hostage.
So,
and then blew up
I
a
can,
C4 at the bottom of a fucking thing that they got
so,
out of an actual criminal. Right? An actual.
I see where you're standing,
C4
but I think
and
there's
used
something
it
else
as
that
a
you should
PD
consider.
I was passed
Is
out.
that
notice
we
with
are a
fucking
very
gate
big
and
police
why
force, and I think
fired-
holding the entirety of the
How would I-
unified police
I could argue
department,
with this. Your logic is flawed from the get-go, man.
you know, accountable for the actions of some is kind of like a dangerous route to go by. Now,
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
then
saying that you
why is
shouldn't
that
have this
same logic
perspective.
applied to me though, right?
Okay, I need a minute then.
To you? I
Yeah,
don't think it
that's it.
should.
Yeah, I don't think it should
I mean,
either.
we're
but
having this
that's just the world
conversation,
we
right?
live in,
I'm not
right?
treating you like OTT
80
right
or
now.
walk. Come on now.
Well, Brian, to be fair, I don't think you're you're one of those cops. But at the end of the day,
Okay,
Who said that?
It's
Who said
just
that?
how
Who
the
said
city
that?
works,
Oh,
right?
Not guilty.
I'm gonna be held to that
hold on,
standard,
hold on, hold on.
and I'm gonna hold you guys to that standard just to prove a point on how ridiculous. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would agree. I'm like I said, I'm surprised that it was signed. But I also don't know the details. I don't have the warrant in front of
Hey,
me.
take a look at it. I'm
Yeah,
curious
sure,
your
so
opinion whenever you
wait,
have some free time. I'm sure there's a report about
Yeah,
it somewhere.
send it my way.
Yeah, but
I'll take a look.
Yeah, I'll send it over to you.
So he came up with
So
their
the reason I'm
120.
asking you this is there are some things that I'm sure you're going to hear about soon, in regards to hotels and such.
Nikki, I like you
So
very
this is
much.
my way
So-
as one of the leads on this to say,
Okay,
hey, owner of a hotel,
Yeah,
we are
so-
asking for your
Or I walk.
permission to survey,
my
you know, to
God.
use surveillance when necessary.
Okay, so what's gonna happen with hotels? Just so I'm aware of this already, please.
I'm sorry?
What's going on with
I'm trying
hotels?
to listen to you, by the way, but
Literally,
there's like a
cadet lie
million
on
ways to
scene.
do it.
I mean, you should just get
Can
fired.
we just go into interrogation room for a
Yeah, I
second?
was gonna say,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can move
yeah,
into
yeah.
interrogation.
Could you
Put-
That's
instead of
soft cuff him, yeah. That's
second
soft cuff
degree.
him.
But yeah, you see, everybody else got attempted second degree, so nobody died,
Me too.
but almost
Hi, there you
died.
go.
Are you not guilty?
Big difference.
It was
in
only
time.
two.
Nah, which one?
Oh my God, dude, am I about
Okay,
to
I
fucking
plead
get a
not
massive
guilty.
headache?
No,
Sorry.
Ken. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not guilty.
I'll wait outside the interrogation. Lang, your charges are ready whenever you're ready.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Alright, send me off.
So, what is happening with hotels?
We're getting some legislation looked into over the next couple of weeks.
What is the
Be
legislation?
it
If you don't mind
the-
me asking.
That's going to be openly discussed. So I spoke with the judges. I've been speaking to them over the last 2 weeks. Some are aware, some aren't. But the latest request that was as of this morning is to get hotel owners, along with select law enforcement officers like myself, to figure out what the legality of these hotels are. To give you an idea, right? You own Brewster's Rest, but there is no like legal definition of what it is that you're subletting. Is it, do you own the rooms? Are you renting them out? Are they, temporary stays? You see where I'm going with this?
Kind of.
So right now it's not defined. Okay, so let's say I'm just gonna give it to you straight. I witnessed X bring a shitload of money from a vault robbery you did 4 weeks ago. Beeline it directly on his green ninja to the Rooster's Rest. Hold up 2 of your employees. Force them to give him keys to one of your cars. He changed his clothes inside and dumped all the loot in there. Now, yeah. Now I didn't raid him, and that doesn't mean I'm not like, I do raid people. Actually, I raid so many people that I didn't have time to go after X. But that opened the door to the following, is that he's one of probably half a dozen cases over the last 4 weeks where people are running into the casino, running into the Rooster's Rest, running into locations that are private on private. So that leads us to a couple things. One is I write a 60-day hop-sealed warrant that lets me go and put a camera up in the Rooster's Rest without your knowledge for 60 days straight, and in order to monitor where and who is using what. Now, I imagine as a business owner, you probably don't want that, right? But I'm sure on your end, hopefully you can understand our predicament as well. People are stashing things away in these, in these locations. We need a legal way to be able to raid these, right? Without violating the rights of your other.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You don't want to be the asshole who has to go through every stash and find God knows what.
Exactly. Like I don't want to accidentally go into someone else's hotel room and look inside. And we already know that, just because someone owns. Look, there's no reason to beat around the bush. People rent rooms under the names of somebody that's clean and then stash all their shit inside of it. So we just want a healthy conversation between yourself, perhaps Dean, the judges, and figure out what that legislation is going to look like so that it's not going to, it's going to make sense. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. It sounds like my hotel business is about to, lose a lot of business and go underwater.
I don't think so. Look, I'm not a criminal, right? But at some level, there should be an expectation that you don't directly go to wherever you need to drop something off.
Yeah, but you got to look at it this way, right? Like, obviously X is probably the worst example, but let's use Joe, right? Joe is like the smartest criminal in the city.
Yeah.
You have a camera in there. How does Joe really hide what he's moving in, this day and age where, everything is kind of shown? And I'm sure your answer is probably going to be like, oh, I don't know, get a dodo box.
I imagine there's people in the city that have been moving some very heavy things and the police department knows nothing about it.
Oh, of course, when the area is kind of larger, right? You don't really know where to look. When you have a camera, directly over, a set of rooms where I'm sure at some point someone's going to be like, how does Joe get in there without looking sketchy? I feel like even if you brought in a dodo box.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you brought like a dodo box in there.
Cameras aren't as great as you might think they are. Remember, we have to look at them. We have to like physically look at these.
Yeah, I guess you would have to actually be like watching the whole time. You're not wrong.
Yeah, and we would have to have an idea that something is going on for some extended period of time. Now, I'm more leaning towards, and that's what this conversation is, right? It's not even just about the cameras. It's what's the legal status of, because you need to protect yourself too, right? If let's say I had okay, let me give you a better example. Let's say someone that is not your friends, right? Just somebody, I don't know, a member of Grove Street takes a RPG and throws it into a hotel room that's in the name of somebody else. you would want to make sure that only that, and as the owner of this business, you want to make sure that you're not liable before these things. Right now, it is completely unclear in law as to what that even is.
Honestly, I'm surprised that this. I knew this issue was always going to come up. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, there only a few of us are, interested in this. So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what the answer is. Part of me prefers that you just do your job and get a camera in there without my knowing. I think
that's why the conversation will be good, because I think your perspective is needed too. Obviously, that's why I suggested it. Yourself, Dean. I don't know if there's any other hotels and motels in the city. There might be down the line, but I think enough voices need to be there so the civilians are protected. You as business owners are protected, but at the same time, we're able to do our job without people's rights being encroached on. I don't know what the answer is myself either. I've got a couple opinions. But I'd rather hear from the collective voice.
we can arrange like a sit down tomorrow if you want. Me, you.
It's on the
Dean.
judges right now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I think it's better to let the judges decide, just because I think some of it might be outside of our expertise.
Yeah. Fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I like the old system better with the hotels.
How did it work before?
Well, before it was you had a hotel room, and the only way you would be able to get access to who actually had that room was if it was subpoenaed from me directly, and then I'll have to give you that information, right? So let's say...
So we can still do that, but the problem is we have so much evidence that people are getting access to this, and there's no way for that subpoena information to get out.
Well, the bigger issue you have is too, which is kind of funny in my opinion. The MDW actually kind of screwed you guys a lot when it started showing the hotel rooms, because before when somebody rented let's say I rented a room, I would just rent it under my name because I knew the cops had no access to the MDW, but there was obviously the risk of that information being subpoenaed.
Yep.
And then us having to pass over that information. That's what I preferred, because then it makes sense, right? Brian Knight sees John Paul. Yeah. He's gonna go to Lang. Give me the info, or what room John Paul is in. I'm gonna tell you to fuck off, right? You're gonna go to a judge. You're gonna, file all this evidence, all this shit you got to then enforce a subpoena in which I would have to pass you the information.
I think that would work if it included the guest information.
I mean, like multiple, I guess room renters or whatever.
Yeah, so if someone owns a room, but there's 3 individuals that are sharing a guest with it. But I don't want to get too deep into it because I know there's a lot to think about, what makes sense, what works for you, what works for the department. I don't want to.
Yeah, I honestly don't know the solution.
Prescribing. Yeah, I don't want anything that's too good for us, but also not. I don't want to get too much into this. You get what I'm getting at.
I get what you're getting at. I'm gonna go to jail now too whenever you guys are ready.
Yep.
I appreciate the heads up, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I want to make sure everyone's voice is heard on this. Are you doing the processing?
Yep, I'm ready when he is.
Could you take off 20 months, please?
Yeah, I was gonna.
Whatever you're gonna do. I'll make it 30 actually.
You should still be soft cuffed, Lang. So if you.
Oh hell yeah! I just ripped a dirty fart. Jesus.
Yeah.
Just remember in your head that someone
There you go.
what you make, even if it's the right call in your head. Be the wrong in their head.
I mean, Chad, in reality, the cops should be able to go through every room until he finds what he's looking for, but obviously we don't want that for the server. That'd be very unhealthy.
There you go. That one's unlocked.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was fine. I honestly think.
Right. So the charges that we have for you. Scroll down. MDW's been slow.
Yeah, I mean, at some point they made it clear that they needed the case.
So